crazy morning already. It's just after 9 o'clock here in California. And yet, we're, by the way, just a very few subscribers from this hitting 77. So today maybe will be the lucky day that we hit 77,000 subscribers on YouTube. Should be amazing. Amazing, amazing. Got my tea brewing. I've got folks coming on in. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome. It's a little late in getting here today. Oh, I forgot my stirring. I have to use a knife to stir my tea this morning. Let me go grab it. I will be back in half a second. Okay. There we go. Good morning, good morning. Thank you, Sonia. Sonia says, I hope you deserve to get to 77K. Me too. Maybe today's the day that you can get all the way through the live. That would be fun. Let me put some. I like very dark, very sweet tea. No, you were not going to miss the live. I was a little behind in trying to get everything up this morning. We had a green tea for today, so I grabbed my favorite tea. And we're going to do my favorite tea this morning, which is, I know you can't read this, but it's August Tea's Low Country. It's a black tea with a bourbon and burnt sugar notes. And it smells so good. And I love the smell of bourbon. My husband's a bourbon drinker. And like, I like to take a sip, but to me, it tastes like syrup with all like the good, really, really expensive bourbons and whiskeys taste like syrup with all the sweet taken out, and I like the sweet part. So there's no bourbon actually in it. This is, but it has bourbon notes. So it has these. Yeah, it just smells like whiskey barrels and. Yep. So I can't actually drink bourbon because it's not for me, but. This smells really good. So if you like really dark, black, flavorful teas. And then, yes, it's Fabulous Friday, and I've been talking up these earrings. Here, let's come in close. It's coming close. It is Santa Claus on a lounge chair with an umbrella, taking a break. And this is our last Friday before Christmas, so this is what Santa's looking forward to. Just hanging out. These would make great Christmas in July earrings, I think, too. So Santa on the beach. Many of you know that I'm originally Dutch, and we have Sinterklaas in Holland. And while Santa Claus spends his off-season up at the North Pole, Sinterklaas spends his off-season in Spain and like hanging out on the beaches. So it's also very, very Dutch. Oh, it's flashing. Is it flashing because I have a new video up, or is it flashing because no, I think it's just because I have a new video up. It didn't go to 77 yet. Whew. I was about to get really excited there. Yes, I did pull my hair back. So I was a little late because this earring here, the back was missing. So I have something kind of holding it there on this one. I pulled them off the card and there's something wrong with the back of this earring. So, and I couldn't find the other earrings that I wore the other Fridays to steal it back from one of them. And then I knew y'all wanted me to have my hair up. So here, I'll turn around so you can see what I'm using to hold my hair up. It's one of my magnetic purse lights. So I pulled my hair back with a purse light, which apparently can also, so it's a purse light. It's a, needle minder, and it also can be a hair clip if necessary. Quilters, we are inventive, right? When we have to be. Use what we have. Yep, that's this morning. It's been a trickster morning already. It's been a fun day. All right, so prizes from yesterday. I should be able to ship out some prizes today on the ones that we're behind on. I know I have some emails from some folks. Yep, we could turn it on. Oh. See, it could flash. Okay, so the 2023 fabric kit, and I did get those done. So this is the whole kit with that background fabric in the kit. So I did get those kits put together. Had a winner yesterday, and the winner is Carmen Labarge, $84.95. I think she watches replays. So Carmen, if you're watching the replay, send me an email to Carolina@carolinamore.com. So it's just my first name at my first name and last name.com. We like to keep it easy around here. Thank you. Cheryl says I look really cute with my hair like this. My husband likes it when I put my hair half up like this as well. It's his favorite. And he also, I mean, he definitely did not buy these earrings. He has very, very good taste in jewelry. So also get to enjoy the jewelry. Good morning, Donna. I was late too. So it's one of those Fridays. Here it's the last Friday before winter break for lots of kiddos going to school. Oh, it's backwards. I know. This shirt it's another Maker Valley shirt. This one says the Sonoma School of Stitchcraft and Quiltery. And they don't know me. They don't know who I am. But it says M-O, the O is a double O. So my last name being Moore, I was like, they made this for me. And then I also have a friend named Nicole Moore. If you don't know her, it's Nicole Moore of So Much More. So she's got the double pun in her name. Very, very talented. She lives just outside of Kansas City. Very fun, very talented. And I call her my sister with another mister because we both married into the Moore last name. And so we both have this shirt because they clearly made it for us, for Nicole Moore and Carolina Moore. All right, let's get into opening some advent calendars. We have our quiltersadventcalendar.com. And it's this bag. It's a really cute tote bag. It's called the Sydney Tote. The Sydney Tote. It's a really cute bag with a great pocket. So that is the pattern, the daily pattern for quiltersadventcalendar.com. And all right, I think we went from the bottom up yesterday, so we'll start top down today. I'll leave the tea one up there and hopefully not spill this all over the tea that is still brewing. It is an adorable bag. Okay. Ooh, we get to start with chocolate. We get to start with fancy, fancy chocolate. Today's day 20. Are we ready? I'm not. I still have things I need to ship out today. Once I ship the things out today, I will be feeling like doing better. And then tomorrow we should be taking our Santa photos. Okay, this one is the poinsettia, which I think we've had before. It's the blackberry crumble. I think we've had them all at this point. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. There's 16. So I guess 8 of them are doubled up. Debbie says, I'm impressed you haven't dropped the box. So, blackberry crumble. It's got some crunch to it. It's good. Many, many, many moons ago, I was a waitress. I had 2 different waitressing jobs. The first one was I worked at Old Spaghetti Factory. That was my first waitressing job. And I would carry the big trays. And you did not want to spill those. And I once spilled, it's actually my favorite dish at the Old Spaghetti Factory. It's spaghetti with brown butter and Mazithra cheese. But I spilled a plate with that brown butter on the very, very fancy pants. He was fancy pants, but he had a pair of fancy pants on, and it was his birthday. And I spilled the brown butter on his pants. And I don't think he ever got it out. Sorry, my friend. So yeah, trying to balance trays of things. Okay, this is the Sewist Advent Calendar by Domesticity. And I didn't look yet. I did open it up. It feels like a toothbrush holder. Like it's the shape, and you can kind of see it's blue. I know I did a great job of guessing. Becky, it's the Williams Sonoma one that could be salted caramel. So there's still a chance for salted caramel. Oh, Glenda's doing a baking day. Pumpkin bread, cranberry white chocolate chip cookies, and chewy ginger molasses cookies. I did my baking over the weekend. I did 2 kinds of biscotti, sugar cookies, fudge, magic bars, chocolate chip cookies, meringues. Yeah, I think that was all that I did. If that was the worst thing that happened that day, then you still had a good day. All right. There's something inside it, though. Is it... Ooh, someone was talking about taking one of those, like, blade-type seam rippers and putting it in, like, a toothbrush holder. So that's my guess. It says water erasable. It has a label on it for us and everything. And I know it's backwards. I'm sorry, my friends. Water erasable pencils. Water erasable pencils. I like using pencils for marking. These are nice. I'm going to have to try those. Water erasable pencils. And it says that it's Bucklebee, Bucklebee. So if you want to look them up, Bucklebee, Bucklebee, Bucklebee. I have a whole video on different kinds of marking pens because I'm not anti-friction pen, but friction pens do not erase. People say that they are heat erasable, and they're not. It is a heat reactive ink, and it actually turns white. So take a friction pen, put it on red fabric, iron it, and you will see it turns a waxy white. So it disappears, but it doesn't go away. And it doesn't wash out in the wash. And so and this happened to a friend of mine, if you are entering a quilt show in the winter and you ship your quilt that has had friction pen markings on the front of it, that you ironed away because you thought they disappeared, and you ship it in the winter to a quilt show and it sits on a cold shipping dock, those pen marks come back. Not 100%, but like somewhere between around 60%, and you'll have marks all over. All over. Kathy says she wants chewy cookies. Chewy cookies are her favorite. Yep. Freeze the item, and yep, friction pens come back in the cold. And odds are we're not going to put our quilts in the freezer, but we do ship quilts at wintertime and to quilt shows in February, and you don't want your quilt hanging at a quilt show with marks all over it. Yep. Stripey quilters is just re-iron. Yeah, you can re-iron it and it'll disappear again, but then it gets cold, and then you have to, yeah. I only use friction pens on the back. I'll never use a friction pen on the top of the quilt. All right, day 20 of our Hemline 2020. There is a button right there. All right. Jayla's mom says, I would be horrified. Yeah, having your quilt hang. All right. Have we gotten a seam ripper from this one? I'm going to go seam ripper because I don't think we've gotten a seam ripper from this one. But maybe I'm wrong. It's not a seam ripper. I can feel. Ooh! It is thread snips. These are actually really nice. Hemline's given us some good stuff here at the end. So it's in a plastic case. And it has a hook so you can like put it on a cord or something. And they retract out. And then you can clip them with your threads and they retract back in. I like this one. That's a good one. It's a good hemline gift. They're really nice snips. All right, I think my tea's done steeping. I'm gonna take it out here. usually wait until I have something that I can put my tea strainer on. There we go. Yes, handy handy snips. All right, we'll do autofill next. Autofill day 20. Yes, Patty, I'm live. Yay! And you made Fabulous Friday. You made it to Fabulous Friday. Oh, I've got a curl around Santa. Fabulous, fabulous Santa. All right, day 20. Autofill thread. I'm going to guess it's thread inside. What do you think? Am I right? It is a wooden spool. It's not the white spool, it's the wooden ones. This one looks pretty fine, like very fine thread. And it's this kind of like somewhere between a beige and a peach. It's a pretty color. I would not say that this is mocha mousse. It looks a little mocha mousse on camera. It's not mocha mousse, which is the Pantone color of the year. I don't know if y'all saw that Pantone decided that mocha mousse is the color of the year because it's the color of chocolate and coffee and like coziness. And I don't see us using a lot of mocha mousse in our quilts, but I can see us eating plenty of chocolates and enjoying plenty of coffee and tea. Copper, you know, copper's a good color. Yep, I would say it's coppery. That's a good description. Because it has, especially with the plastic on there, it's definitely got like a sheen to it. I imagine that'll probably go away, but copper is a definitely good description of that color. You should name colors, Amy. All right, day 20 of Fabric Godmother. It's a little heavier. It's not heavy, heavy. Erica says, yeah, I'm not seeing that color in many of my quilts, the mocha mousse. It's not a good quilty color. Crafty Nana says thread. It could be thread. Ooh, rose gold. Maybe. I think it's a little closer to copper than rose gold, but it leans towards rose gold for sure. All right. I don't know. It has me stumped. No idea. Kathy says, I was looking for that color the other day. All right, let's see if I can give you the information on it. It's color 2215. It's Aurifil 2215. So there you go. All right, I have no idea what's in this. Needle Keeper. It doesn't feel like it's got a magnet. It doesn't feel heavy enough for that. It'd be interesting to see Mocha Mousse with Kona Nocturne. Aha! It's more of these Love Hearts candies with a piece of paper. So I bet the piece of paper has like some kind of discount, or last time it was like a pattern. So there is a QR code. And it says charity donation. Today we are donating to the charity Samaritans. Money raised from the Advent calendars will enable the charity to train and support several call volunteers for a whole year. Scan to learn more about Samaritans and their work. I think that is super cool. The Cassandra Lamotte made it to a live show. Yay! My bag light, hold on. Cassandra says, late to the show, had to jump on and let you know your bag light was in the 12-day advent from Soft Squares. This one, the one that I'm using as a hair clip today. That's amazing. Yay! All right. Y'all are all saying that Samaritans is a great charity, so I like that. This might be in the top 3 today. I mean, I know we have a lot still to open, but I feel like that's pretty cool. Orphil says 2215 is peach. Okay. I think it looks more copper to me, but Lynn says she donates to Samaritan. Yay! Okay. Let's keep going. It's time for Kylie and the Machine, which I've yet to guess right. Is today the day? Pantone colors are for everything, clothing, home decor, and makeup, as well as for fabrics and quilting. Yes, totally understand that. And often we look at the Pantone color of the year and we think, That's probably not a good background or quilt focus color, but it might make a good wall paint, or it might make good like furniture or bags. It might make a good skirt or shoes or a hair clip, but maybe not the best quilt. It's finally snowing in Connecticut. It is not snowing in San Diego, and I'm very okay with that. All right, day 20, hot off the sewing machine. It shows a bag with like a puppy sticking out of it. Day 20. It says hot off the sewing machine. We have to guess what the label might say. Is it like flames? It's on fire. Just finished it. Done. A cute frying pan and iron. Okay, there's the labels. I haven't looked at them. They're smallish. Oh, hold on. These are cute. Okay, they have lemons on them. And they say fresh threads. Fresh threads. That's cute. They've had me stumped every single day. Maybe next year I'll understand the clues. Yeah. Fresh threads. Like, you know, my threads. Let's do the cross stitch advent. I have been working on it. I'll have to grab that out of my bag and show you in tomorrow's video, because today's Friday, so we're going to record the Saturday and Sunday videos, and I may have a special guest coming again this weekend. They might show up while we're recording this live. They may be on their way here right now. Feel free to guess who you think might be joining me. Dina says she's not sure if it's a good label. I think it's good for clothing, probably, more than quilts, maybe. Gail says it was a fun show. I'm not caught up yet. Debbie thinks Mac is coming. A couple y'all think that Amanda's coming back. My friend from Missouri. Which friend from Missouri? Oh, Nicole Moore. That's an excellent guess. I wish. Rob from Stitch in Heaven. My mom. Norway, we're having another guest. So I mentioned to y'all, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will release the video from my very, very first ever video. It's private on my channel. You cannot see it, but I will release it when I hit 100,000 subscribers. And it is an audition video from a decade ago, where I auditioned to be on a show that ended up having a different name, but at the time was going to be called The Ultimate Craft Throwdown. And one of the requirements in the audition video was to have you chatting with someone else. And I lived in Vegas. I didn't know anyone, and I definitely didn't know anyone well enough to say, hey, would you want to come to my house and record an audition tape with me so that I can be on this craft throwdown reality show? Because I need to show that I can like talk coherently with another person. I didn't know anyone well enough to ask that. So I called my best friend from the 4th grade, Mandy. Mandy, I should probably check with Mandy to make sure she's okay with me releasing this video. That would be a good idea. Anyway, so I called my best friend Mandy. I had her on speakerphone, and I used a sock puppet the whole time. And I talked to this sock puppet to show that I could interact with another person. So when this hits 100,000, that video will release, because it's awesome. Also, it's 10 years ago, and that was such a different me that I can't be embarrassed about that anymore, right? Is the sock puppet my guess? Is Debbie guessing the sock puppet? I was so nervous. I was also pregnant at the time. I was pregnant with my youngest. Okay, today's cross stitch is really cute. It's this little cloud with a lightning bolt. It's a little cloud with lightning. That's super cute. Y'all are so looking forward to the video. As soon as it hits 100,000. We're almost at 77. We're I didn't guess that I was opening it because I was distracted. Okay. Please let it be the sock puppet. The cross stitch ones are always darling. Okay, I already opened it up. It is silver metallic thread. We got the gold. Now we've got the silver to go with it. Silver metallic thread. It's also baby Caroline. It's me from a decade ago. I look a lot younger and maybe a little thinner. Definitely a little thinner. That's okay. I've been living a very full and lovely life. Makes you think of the silver and gold song. Almost forgot, probably because I am also in a training class and on a Zoom call. Just couldn't miss though. Well, welcome. Glad you made it, Marcia. Okay. We did the cross stitch. We did the hemline grotto, which was our silver thread. And Crafty Nana does not want these days to end. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do next. What's going to come next? Because I have been enjoying my lives with you. I don't know that I can commit to an hour every morning, but maybe one day a week. And then also something fun, because the other thing is I want to come on here and do something fun with you all. And this takes very, very little planning. I need to make sure that I have my giveaway prepped. I need to print out the quilters adventcalendar.com and like pick the giveaway winner, have a giveaway prize, and then print out that quiltersadventcalendar.com. But that's really kind of it. So it's not a ton of prep for me. Y'all are already seeing the knock knock joke and singing. Anyway, so I can't do prep for every single day, but I maybe could prep something for once a week. JKH is saying she doesn't even have the joke out of the box yet. So I do have a block of the month. It's already recorded. So those my recorded videos are a little different than the live. I try to still have some personality in there, but it's really hard when it's really just me in a room. But those are all Helen says we're easy to please. Aw, y'all have been really, really fun to hang out with. It's hard to find cute pixel designs that are small enough for a quilt with decent size squares. Pixel designs. Well, I mean, if you could, I think this advent calendar sold out, but those are cute pixel designs that you could decent size squares. All right, we'll figure out some kind of live, probably once a week. Well, I don't know. Once a week might be a lot. We'll see. We'll try to figure it out. Tina says, I'm so fun to hang out with. Thank you. And also, I feel like, and people in the replay are going to have to chime in as well, that we might need to do like kind of trade-off morning and evening so that evening folks can also hang out live. Jayla's mom says, I think everyone just loves how upbeat and friendly you are. Thank you. No one ever accused me of being sweet, because I'm not sweet. I'm spicy. And I'm salty. So I got lots of flavor. And I think I'm fair. All right. Knock knock joke. We'll look at the door. The door is really pretty. It's this winter scene with trees and snowflakes. Let's see if I cover my face. Will it? If I take my face out, will it focus on the door? Phones are so funny that way. Okay. Knock knock. Knock knock. All the who's there's. Icy. ICY. It's spelled ICY. Icy. Icy's at the door. Cheryl says, come on in. I see who. I see you've been very good this year. I see you've been very good this year. That's a pretty good one. I like that one. Icy hot. Erica says, for sure I have. All right. Norway, I've been good, says Nancy. All right. Mini quilt advent, which I am wildly behind on. Maybe I'll work on it this weekend. I really need to work on book quilts this weekend. By the way, I put up in my shop, like there's a notification banner at the top of carolinamoorepatterns.com, and I put that I'm not shipping out orders from the 24th to the 3rd of January so that I can finish the book. All right, day 20, mini quilt advent. We aren't on the naughty list. They didn't catch us. Oh, Helen says, I agree with several of these posts. I enjoy your upbeat attitude. Thank you. I like having fun. All right, today's quilt block. Oh, this is a fun one because you can do this in a couple different ways. You can make the bottom the same color as the background if you wanted, or you can make the bottom the same color as the top to make it like a house shape, but it's like a house shape. That's a fun one. Hazel's off to work. Glad you could come hang out. Amy says, I hope you meet the deadline with the book. Me too. I have at least 6 quilts to get done. 3 of them are up there. I got them to the next step yesterday. I had to square up over 160 half square triangles last night. But I did it. They're all squared up. They're beautiful. I don't like squaring up, but it looks so good when you're like, when everything's all squared up, it just looks so nice. And they're going to sew together so much better than if I tried to like force it without squaring up. So while I don't like squaring up, I like the results of squaring up. Helen says she's so excited about my book. I'm excited about my book too. I haven't seen the cover yet. I know the cover has been designed, but I haven't seen it yet. So I can't wait to share the cover. Yeah, squaring up is so satisfying, but also a nightmare. I thought about hopping on live and doing an evening live last night, like a bonus live, so I could just hang out with some folks while squaring up, because it is so tedious and boring. But I started a new audiobook and I'm just starting to get into it. So, all right. Day 20, William Sonoma. Get to put on a good movie. Cynthia says, wish I had the money for your advents. Really want last year's. Actually, both last year's and this year's, but especially last year's. Last year's was a good one. And at the end of this year, they will be gone. We're taking them down. So that's it for these ones. What's the name of the quilt with the scissors on it? So this is called the collection quilt, and it's only available as a PDF right now. It's a digital pattern on my site. I may release it as a printed pattern. All right, folks, we're guessing salted caramel. We had a peanut butter cup yesterday. I feel like we had a peppermint the day before. We might be due for a salted caramel, but there have been a lot of salted caramels. I'm going to go unsalted caramel. All right, it's not a peppermint. Ooh, it looks like unsalted caramel. No salt. Unsalted caramel. Haha, I got one right. I think that's the only one I've gotten right today. Lori says she thinks it's completely chance what you get. Maybe. Yes, and it's the with maybe a nut. It's the unsalted caramel that maybe has a nut in it. Okay. This is our cotton cuts. I'm getting down to the bottom, but it's almost Christmas. All right. Speaking of the bottom, let's pick the one from the very bottom. The Cassandra Lamont says, I will never look at salted caramel the same way again. Helen says she's flying us to Vegas. It's actually a pretty cheap flight from San Diego. And I have friends there. And we can go visit the quilt shops. We can go to So Yeah. And we can go visit my friend Vicky at Orchid Owl. And we can go pop by Quiltique. And then there's a newer quilt shop down in Boulder City that I haven't been to. So we'll definitely have to hit up the quilt shops in Vegas. It's too big to be a front pack. I'm glad that y'all think that I'm so tiny. This is, and it's too, oh, I wonder if it's like those notepads of foundation papers, because it feels notepad-y. Feels like a notepad of some kind. A template, it's really bendy and it feels like paper. A calendar, ooh, that's a good guess. All right, I'm gonna go with foundation papers. It is! Oh my gosh, okay. So I'm super excited for this. I actually have a set of these that I ordered that came in. These are, my friend Layla designed these. She is incredibly talented, and I was so mad when I saw these at market because they're genius and I didn't come up with them. So I had definitely some like envy of like, oh, those are so clever. And like I've been trying to come up with something like this, but it wasn't clicking. And then she did it and I was like, it clicked. And when things like, when I have an idea, I go and I search to see if someone else has done it. And if someone else has already done it, I don't also do it. I promote their product because it's amazing. And then I can spend my energy on something else because I am only one human. So then I can go put my energy on something else. And their energy is here. And I can spend just a little bit of energy promoting their product, which is really cool and already exists. And I'm not the one who's producing it, manufacturing it, shipping it out. And I'm not doing all those kinds of energy things. So these are super cool. I'm going to tell you about them. This is Layla's Scrappy Triangles. If you've never done foundation paper piecing before, this is a super beginner friendly way to get started with foundation paper piecing. If you have lots of scraps, so we talked about scrap tape before. By the way, I need to do a video on these. That's why they're sitting right. They're still in the pack. I can see it. They came in a cute little teal package. So the way it works is there's 50, if I remember right, there's 50 pages, and each one is different. And so this one is a super simple example, and I know it's in reverse, but foundation paper piecing kind of happens in reverse anyway, so it's okay. You do fabric 1 and fabric 2 and you sew them together. Just foundation paper piecing, you add fabric 3 and then you add on fabric 4, and then you have a square where this side is all scrappy and this side is your background fabric. And they get more complicated. There's like much more complicated ones. There's easier ones, and then there's, I mean, every single one is different. And they're all numbered, so you know exactly what order to do everything in. Aren't these so clever? And then, and let me get this up close so you can see, there's all different designs, and you sew them together. And because of that background square that takes up half of the space, it doesn't look like chaos. Like a quilt like this could very easily look like chaos very quickly, but because it's half background, it doesn't look like chaos. And then you have all these half square triangles that you can put together like a half square triangle quilt, because it is a half square triangle quilt. It's so good. I went to her schoolhouse at market where she showed it. And I just sat there and was like, this is so cool. This is so it is sold through distributors. If you want them, you can go to Layla's site. Let me see, is hers, of course she did. The product ID, if you want to give it to your quilt shop, is LGD108. LGD108. And she doesn't have her website on here, but it's LEILAGARDUNIA, Layla Gardunia Design. So it's all they're all it's 50 of them, 50 foundation paper pages, and then there's a chart that says how many you need to make. So this whole pad will make a baby quilt, so you need 2 pads to make a square throw or a small throw. You need 3 pads for a large throw or a twin. You need 272 pieces, so that's 4, 5, 6 pads to make a queen, and 289, which would be 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 pads to make a king. Jayla's mom says, I think I have our newsletter. Anyway. It's super cool. And so I'm so glad I get to talk about her. She's also, like, she is someone who truly is sweet. I'm salty and spicy. Layla truly is a sweet human. So if you like sweet humans, you will like Layla. She's lovely and obviously incredibly talented. So anyway, that was the, man, that definitely might have to be in our top 3. It makes scrappy quilts can so easily become mud, and it just makes it so much easier to make a scrappy quilt that doesn't look like mud. Helen says she's a doll. She really is. She also is like a petite little thing. She's I mean, I could be a Layla Gardenia fan account. I really could. I am a huge fan of hers. Okay. The So What box, day 20. It feels like fabric. Linda says it's available on Etsy. I will say though, if you have a local quilt shop, go to your local quilt shop and ask them. It's LGD108. Ask them to order it in, because then you're supporting Layla. You're also supporting your local quilt shop. Also, your local quilt shop will know about the cool thing, and hopefully they'll order more. So you'll actually support Layla even more, because she'll sell like 20 of them instead of one of them. And the quilt shop can like teach classes on it or do like fun stuff. Ooh, mini charm. Maybe it is the size of a mini charm, but there's not a cardboard backing. But I think mini charm is good. Lucy says she got her local quilt shop to order them. Good. DJ made it late. That's okay. We've got the replay. Mini charm pack. Y'all are good. I don't think I would have made that guess on my own. It is. Ooh, it's a custom to. It says So What box on it. It says www.sowhatbox.com mini charm pack, 42 squares, 2.5 by 2.5 each, and they look Christmassy. They look fairly. Yep, they're snowflakes. Cute. What would I do without you? I don't know. And I'm glad I don't have to find out, because I do have you here. Linda says no local quilt shops nearby. I live in a very rural area. Linda, for folks who don't have local quilt shops, I always recommend my friend Amanda. She is my local online quilt shop, SanDiegoSewn.com. And that can be your local online quilt shop. Local to me in San Diego, but yep, local quilt shops need our support. Helps two businesses. Well, online is lovely because we can shop in our pajamas, but really you could go to your local quilt shop in your pajamas and it would be fine. So you can shop at your local quilt shop in your pajamas, and a lot of them have websites now, so you can also shop your local quilt shop online. But when you need thread, or you need needles, or you need some inspiration, you go to your local quilt shop. And if we keep buying elsewhere and not buying from our local quilt shop, then the place that has the needles and the thread and the inspiration, like the things that when we need it and we need it now, they'll be gone, because we went for convenience when it was convenient, and then they're not there when we really need them. So does it count as local if they are 30 minutes away and in a different town? Yeah, that's your local quilt shop. Your local quilt shop gets to be whatever you want your local quilt shop to be. And for some folks, their local quilt shop isn't the closest quilt shop to them, because they just have a bigger connection to a different quilt shop, and that's okay. Your local quilt shop can be whichever shop you want it to be. I keep looking for day 19 because I can't believe we're on day 20. Yeah, Joyce says she likes mini charms, but big prints get lost. Local quilt shops should have pajama shopping days. I love y'all, but I don't know if I can handle seeing everyone in their night dresses. Okay, there's a rip in this one, so I'm trying not to peek. My shop is down the street in a very small town. It's awesome. I love that. It is pretty paper. Oh, and let's keep our ornament. And there's ribbon on here. Melissa from Eclectic Quilter did a really good job on these. All right, so we have our ornament. Kathy says my local one is 50 miles away and she's closing it after 22 years. That is sad. Running a quilt shop, I've worked at a couple. It is a ton of work. It's a business. It's running a whole business. My shop is my home away from home for many of us. All right. I'm peeking because I have no idea what this is. It's like two things. It's like a big thing on the back, and then it's like a round thing on the front. Hopefully she's closing because she's retiring. Yes, but it also means often folks who are retiring, they look to sell it and no one wants to buy the shop. For a lot of quilt shops, they make their money when they get to sell out of the shop because of all the cost of carrying all that inventory. It's a dome threaded needle case. Neatly stores away threaded needles. Do y'all store threaded needles? I started with my my cross stitch advents. I've been keeping the thread in the needle. So if I just use a little bit, I've been keeping the thread in the needle so that I have it already threaded for the next project that uses that same color. So I've been doing that. A novel case for threaded needles in which threads are wound in a reel. Up to 10 threaded needles can be neatly stored. Insert threaded needle into the groove on the reel. Gently hold thread in slot and rotate the reel to wind the thread. To withdraw the needle, hold the needle and thread together and pull slowly. Sonia says she's 4 of them and they're a godsend. Good for embroidery, handwork if traveling. Don't store them in cases, just put mine in a pincushion. Load it up and go. Seen it, never used it. It's handy for binding. Thread a bunch of needles beforehand. Store mine in fabric and stab myself all the time. I feel like I want to try this. Nice for cross-stitch and embroidery. New to me, interesting. Yep, I'm going to have to figure that out. And then this is fray away for quilting and embroidery. Prevents fabric from fraying, secures thread ends. Perfect for use on all fabrics. Ultrafine nozzle tip, goes on clear, dries clear, washable, and dry cleanable. Easy to use container. Screw on cap, prevents drying, non-flammable. Jennifer loves it for EPP. Anyway, this is, but not fray. I'm assuming not the fray away. I'm assuming the needle, because there's a little bit of a delay in our chat, and I know that. Okay. We still have Vicky's Fabrics, our Hawaiian Advent, and then we have Missouri Star. Okay, there's 22. Day 20. You have to test all the new things and let us know what you like. Okay, this is a roll. This is from Vicky's Fabrics. And I was going to guess this looks like diffuse batting together tape, but I see teal through here. So now I'm thinking it's like a custom jelly roll. Joni says she puts them in her shirt left shoulder. She knows they're there, but this has been she surprised her husband a time or two. Oh, half jelly roll, mini roll, ribbons. Looks like a guess. Jelly roll, custom binding. All right, what is it? It has this symbol on it. What is this? Pre-sized, designed and manufactured in the UK, perfect for binding or making whole quilts. Washing, 30-degree machine wash, cool, tumble dry. Okio-Tex standard, 100 certified. Length, 12 meters or 13 yards. It is 2.5 inches by 13-yard roll of Blue Oyster from Vicky's Fabric. Blue Oyster Cult is the color. It's a really pretty color. Clearly, I like the color. So it's like pre-made binding. It hasn't been pressed. So depending on if you like double fold or single fold, you can press it the way you like it. But it's a roll of binding. Or it could be used as sashing. Like it could be used as pre-made sashing. Unless it's on the bias. It's not on the bias. I can see the weave on it. It is not bias cut. It is straight cut. All right. Missouri Star, day 20. 22, 23, 21, 24, day 20. Okay, this sounds like Wonder Clips. It's that plasticky tinkling noise. Angelina's is better for sashing then. So straight cut binding is fine as long as you're not going around any curves. You have to have bias binding when you're going around curves. But if you're not going around curves straight, there's nothing wrong with straight cut binding. It sounds like clips. Ooh, a puzzle. But it sounds plasticky. Patty says, start liking everyone. Yeah, somewhere here there's like a heart that you can press and it pops up a whole menu and you can like press the heart button or the laugh button or whatever. Yep. You need to make a quilt so that you can use it. I am working on a bunch of quilts for the book. I'm working on book quilts. My goal is to have those quilts done and on the long arm this weekend. Lego kit. Ooh. Donna, did you already know? It is a sewing machine brick building set. And it has the custom Chuck the Duck from Missouri Star. And then Missouri Star's orange and yellow colors. Gail says, Missouri Star has strange gifts this year. Lego kit. I love this one, but also a fan of puzzles. What long arm do I have? I have a Baby Lock Gallant XL. I'm a Baby Lock ambassador. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Baby Lock machines. The Baby Lock Gallant XL is the newest for me, and it is amazing. Do I want to show you my mess? I don't really want to show you my mess, but I will show you anyway. Over there is the Baby Lock. And I've not been putting her to work lately. So, Cassandra says, so nerdy, loves the Lego kit. Kathy already built hers. Cute Lego sewing machine. How's the tea? It's a little bitter today. I think I oversteeped it. Also, I have the coconut sugar in there. And you know what? Maybe I didn't stir up the sugar enough. Do you ever have that where like the bottom ends up really sweet? Clearly, knife, not the best stirring implement. I did dishes. I bring the dishes home, run them in the dishwasher, and then bring them back. And the bin of all the dishes actually spilled in the car. So my teaspoons are all over the back seat of the car. I need to be rewashed so I can bring them. Billy Blue Sheepy asked, do you have the Baby Lock Sashiko one? I do. Several years ago, I put the Baby Lock Sashiko machine on my Christmas wish list because in my family, a Christmas wish list is allowed to be a total pipe dream. Like you're allowed to put a car or a spaceship or a time machine. You're allowed to put those kinds of things on your wish list if that's what you would really like to have, even if it's impossible. It's a dream list. It's a wish list. So I put the Baby Lock Sashiko machine on there because I'd seen someone at a guild meeting bring a quilt in that they'd done on their Sashiko machine. And I just thought it was magical. The look of hand stitching without the work of doing the hand stitching. And that Christmas, I cried because my husband had put a Baby Lock Sashiko machine underneath the Christmas tree and I had no idea. I've done some videos on it. It's a super cool machine. There are people who hate the Baby Lock Sashiko because it does one thing. It does Sashiko stitches. It doesn't, but it does that one thing so well. And it is so cool. And there's no machine. People say, oh, my machine, and there's different brands of machines out there, but my machine will do a Sashiko stitch. So the Baby Lock Sashiko machine on the top, it has a true stitch and then space and then stitch and then space and then stitch and then space. It truly has stitch, space, stitch, space. It isn't, there's other techniques where you can use like the invisible thread and the way that it pulls up, it'll look like a stitch and then a space and then a stitch and then a space. But if you look at it reasonably close, you'll see the shimmer of the invisible thread. with the Baby Lock Sashiko machine, it doesn't have a top thread. It only has a bobbin thread. And so it actually pulls up the stitches as true stitch space. It's magical the way it works. I'm not entirely, and also it doesn't use a traditional needle because you don't thread the needle. It has this weird like hook needle. It's super cool. I've done a couple videos on it, but it does a true stitch space. And if I had something right here that I could show you that I'd done with the sashiko stitch, I would show it to you, but I don't have one right here right now. So yes, I have the Baby Lock Sashiko. It is super cool. It can use any kind of thread. I've done it with 12, all the way up to 12 weight, which is the heaviest thread that you can put in a sewing machine. So I've done up to 12 weight. What do you call a husband who buys you your special sewing machine? A keeper. Yeah, it is not cheap. It is, I mean, it's a pricey machine. And so people get upset because it only does one thing. But honestly, like my long arm is much more expensive and it only does one thing. It only long arms, right? My other machines, like, do they have a lot of stitches? Yes, but I'm a quilter. I straight stitch at 1/4 inch. Like 95% of the time, I straight stitch at 1/4 inch. That my machines have other stitches on them is lost to me because that's not what I use my machines for. So that it only does one thing is not a downside to me because it does that one thing really well. What's the cost? I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say it's a couple $1,000s, but I do not have a Baby Lock straight stitch only. I have, okay, so the machines I have the Baby Lock Gallant XL, which is my long arm. I have the Baby Lock Ballad, and before that I had the Aria. But I have the Baby Lock Ballad, which is the machine that I sew on the most. And if you see any of my short form video, it's almost always done on the Ballad. That's like my main when I'm sewing projects machine. If you watch my regular videos, most of those are done on my Baby Lock Jubilant because it's a more accessible looking machine. It's like the Ballad is a bigger machine and because it is a more expensive machine and it scares newbies. So I do most of my videos on the Baby Lock Jubilant because it's a little more of an approachable machine. So my block of the month videos, all of my videos that I did for the Advent calendar, the Mini Quilt Advent, have all been done on the Jubilant. I have the Baby Lock Sashiko machine, and then I have a Baby Lock Zest, which is the least expensive machine that you can get from Baby Lock. I have a Baby Lock Zest that I covered in rhinestones. So if you've ever seen the rhinestone covered sewing machine, that's me. If you've ever seen the rhinestone covered Aliso iron, I did that for them. So I'm working on a rhinestone covered Aliso iron for myself. So I have the Baby Lock that's covered in rhinestones. It's actually at a museum right now being exhibited. And then I have the Baby Lock or the Aliso that I'm working on covering in rhinestones. And I did a AccuQuilt Go Me in rhinestones as well. I've added long arm and embroidery machines to my wish list the past 2 years. A girl can dream. You can and you should. I agree. I saw the sewing machine on an AccuQuilt video the other day. Yes, I brought the sewing machine and the AccuQuilt Go Me to AccuQuilt. Oh, we should grab our tea. To AccuQuilt when I got to film there. The Pam Heller from AccuQuilt picked me up from the airport for me to get to go film at the beautiful Dream Studio at AccuQuilt. And I asked her, I'm like, oh, did you have a lot of people come in and film with you? And this was when we filmed the launch videos for my box bag die. And she said, oh, no, not really. I'm like, oh, who have you had? And they had Eleanor Burns and Ricky Timms and Edita Sitar and me. And I felt so overwhelmed and unworthy that I was going to be among these people who've gotten to film at yep. Stacy Lee Creative is here. She says, hello, Quilty Bestie. Stacy is off abroad traveling right now, so I'm glad you could make it. If you have not gone and visited Stacy, like she and I are in a very, very friendly contest of who YouTube subscribers. And I say very, very friendly because she's beaten the pants off me. But she's amazing, and that's why. And she does really fun, really good videos. So go check out Stacey Lee Creative. What are the videos about your long arm I will watch? If you go to my channel, I believe I have a playlist on my long arm. So you can go to the long arm playlist. I didn't get to be with them. They were the other people who have filmed there in the past. So I was in the room where they had been, but I was not in the room with them. But it's like, oh, these are the really cool people who've gotten to film there, and me. Yeah, it was pretty cool. All right, we have to pick our top 3 to tell you what our prizes are, and we're gonna see our tea for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna be recording tomorrow's and Sunday's videos, and then I'll be back on Monday live. We'll do Monday and Tuesday live, and then Wednesday's Christmas. There's only 2 more lives after this. How do you get to be a Baby Lock ambassador? I have an audience, so I've been developing I have a blog and that I've been doing for over 10 years, and the YouTube channel, and Instagram and Facebook, and an email newsletter. So it's a marketing thing that I have a contract with them of getting to work with their machines in exchange for promoting their machines to my audience. But also I really only work with 3 companies, because first of all, they have to be companies that I love. And I only have so much time. So I can't, even though there are so many more companies that I love, I can't spend all my time promoting all the companies. So I have 3 companies that I promote that have some kind of ambassador status or contractual relationship with. Art Gallery Fabrics was the first. So I have a contractual relationship with Art Gallery Fabrics. I only use Art Gallery Fabrics, and I love their fabrics, but they're the best fabrics. So it's a very easy, natural relationship for me. AccuQuilt. I'm an AccuQuilt licensed dye designer, and I've designed dyes for them, and I've written patterns for them. I've written patterns for some of their dyes. So I'm an AccuQuilt licensed dye designer, and then I'm a Baby Lock ambassador. And those are the 3 companies that I represent and work with. So Amy said this is my last live since I'll be working on Monday and Tuesday, but we will have replays for you, Amy. So Erica loves her AccuQuilt. Helen agrees AGF is the best. They are. And all of these companies are companies where I also know the people. Like, I know the product and I know the people, and I love them both. And if it wasn't the case, I would not work with them. Now, are there other companies that I don't work with where I know the people and I know the product and I love them both? Yes. And I just don't work with them? Yes, because you can do all the things, but you can't do all the things well. All right, we need to pick our things. Oh, Janelle already said the foundation paper piecing pad, Lego sewing machine, and the mini charm. All right, let's see. We have our pre-cut binding slash sashing. We have our water erasable pencils. We have our mini charm pack. We have the knock knock joke. I see you've forgotten the knock knock joke. So terrible. We have our not salted, possibly nutty caramel. We have the thread snips. We have the charity donation to Samaritans. Joyce says AccuQuilt is on her wish list. It should be. It's good. I know that there's some people that don't like it, and that's okay, but I love it. It's great. We have the Orifil thread and the silver thread. Scrappy Triangles binding mini charm. Mini charm Lego sewing machine thread snips. FPP pad sewing machine Lego machine. Needle thread winder. Oh, that's right. The pencils. And just for fun, the knock knock joke. Helen is just throwing curveballs. We have the Lego sewing machine. We have the fray away and the needle threader. I have not finished eating my chocolate, so we have our chocolate. We have our Scrappy Triangle pad. We have day 20 of the mini quilt advent. And we have our cloud stitchery. So generally the stitchery, the knock knock joke, the mini quilt advent, we like them. They're consistent. Also the thread, we like them. They're consistent. They're great advent calendars, but they're not like the blow us away top 3 generally. Triangle paper, mini charm, thread snips. The chocolate also generally not in our top 3. We're like process of elimination time. It's flashing. It's flashing. Nope. I think it's updating the number of views. So close. Okay. I really like the water erasable pencils. I like the thread snips. I like the pre-made bindings. I'm going to take the pre-made bindings out because I lean towards the Art Gallery Fabrics 2.5 edition binding. That's my favorite binding. I think Layla's is definitely in the top 3. I'm going to put the charity donation in the top 3 because I think taking a minute to send some love in the form of a financial donation to your favorite charity, they don't exist without our support. So Erica says you're so close. I am so close. All right, water erasable pencils, mini charm pack, scissors, the thread snips, sewing machine set, which I've seen a lot of y'all say. The needle and fray check. Okay, I'm gonna go with the needles and the needle because I want to actually use this. Also, I also want to use the water erasable pencils. I want to use both of those. I also want to use the thread snips. But this one's cool, and I haven't actually played with this one before. And I have played with thread snips, and I have used pencils. So these are my 3. You're allowed to disagree. I'll take photos. I'll put them in the poll. So we have an actual poll in the community tab. If you're not familiar with the community tab, if you go to my actual channel where there's like the banner with like my face on it, underneath that banner, it'll like show a number of subscribers, which 77 today. We're going to get to 77. So it'll show the number of subscribers. And then underneath that, it'll say like, there'll be a banner across that says videos, shorts, lives, I think something else as well. And then it says community. So go to community. And you'll see all the polls. And the first day I didn't realize I could do images, but since then it's actually pictures of the items and you can vote. And you can also leave comments. And some people leave not so nice comments. And they can. But okay. What if you could put embroidery thread in that round thing? Maybe. I've never used it at all before. So I don't know. I'm going to have to find out. Too many good ones today. We like good ones. Whew. All right, friends. That's it for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. We'll have recordings the next 2 days. I'll try and see if I can pop in while the recordings are because we do premieres, so you can still do live chat with one another. There's still the community, and I will try to see if I can pop in as well to live chat with y'all. It says post instead of a community. It should say community. But maybe it does say posts. Did you miss the tea for tomorrow? Oh, I know, because I forgot to do that. Because see, I'm using the tea as like my little lap table. Shame on me. Thank you. See, this is why I need y'all. This is part of the reason that the recorded ones are rough, because I don't have friends helping me out, keeping me honest. Okay. No green tea. Let's find out. Day 21. Black tea. Yay! It's black tea. Inspired by Nepal. It's a Mint Everest. Medium caffeine. Renee said high caffeine. Oh, and a winner for the I didn't tell you what the prizes are. Man, y'all. Thank you. Because the prizes are good. All right. So, I packed up a lot of the stuff from the last 10 days, because I think the last time I did this was 10 days ago. And I did another couple big pink boxes. One of fabric, one of notions. And after I take the pictures of today's stuff, This is the fabric box, and then I will put that mini charm pack and that blue binding in this fabric box as well, because those will go with the fabric. And look, one of the green teas is in here. So there is a fabric. This is the fabric / project. So fabric patterns all went into there. And then the other box, this one's heavier because this is heavier, is the notions box. So you can see pins, things. I also put stuff in these tins. These tins are not empty, to save space, to maximize the space, which is why it's heavy. So this is the notions, and some of today's notions will also make it into this box. So there is a fabric box and a notions box, and I need to pick a winner. So the winner of the live today will get to pick which one they want. Kathy, Karinen, Kathy Karinen said cute. I don't know what you said cute about. Oh, I think about the Lego. Yep. Kathy, are you here? Because if you're here, you can pick. Do you want the fabric box? Do you want the notions box? Hold on, is she here? Yeah, looking. Kathy's here. All right, send me an email. Carolina, Carolina, spelled like the state Carolina. So it's Carolina at Carolina Moore, but it's pronounced Carolina at carolinamore.com. Which one do you want, by the way? So I can make sure that it's the right one. Kathy, do you want notions or do you want fabric? Let me know. Notions or fabric? It's a hard choice. You really can't go wrong. They're both good boxes. Angelina wants to know, yeah, which one? Because Angelina's going to go to the replay and she's going to comment on the replay so that she can try to win the other one. Which is smart. You should all go to the replay and leave comments on the replay as well. So that way you have a second chance. Oh, it's bitter today. I don't know why it's bitter today. Kathy says fabric. All right. This is, I think the notions one's on top. Yep. So I'm going to just write replay on the top of the notions box. And that way I know. All right, friends, I'm glad that you've enjoyed my fabulous Friday with my magnetic hair clip and the fabulous Santa earrings. Thanks for joining me, my friends. Thanks for reminding me for tea and advent box and prize boxes, because yes, prizes. And I will see you right here tomorrow for our premiere of the recorded opening of, yes, you still have a chance for the notions box. But we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, friends. Have a great weekend. And yes, I've got a guest for tomorrow. We'll see who it is.